Czołem. Cześć Piotr. Wygląda na to, że jesteś jedynym oglądającym w tej chwili, więc bardzo kameralnie. O nie, sorry. Cześć Bunkier. Rufla. Tradycyjnie o tej porze w niedzielę świeci mi w twarz, więc musicie mi wybaczyć. Jeszcze przez jakąś chwilę będę blady jak ściana. Nie pomaga też, że temperatura przez cały czas rośnie, a ja dla pewności i tak 2 reflektory włączam, żeby dobrze green screena oświetlić. Więc do tego jest mi jeszcze ciepło. Cicho jestem. Możliwe, że jestem cicho, bo ściszałem sobie mikrofon ostatnio. To daj mi sekundę. Czy teraz jestem głośniej? Bo faktycznie ściszałem trochę. Ściszyłem sobie w systemie mikrofon, a zapomniałem go wtedy podgłośnić tutaj na sprzęcie. A powinno być teraz w porządku. Jest ok. Continue, ok, nie, to chyba nie tu. Lululu albo bababa. Bababa widzę jest starszym save'em. Trochę lepiej. Nie chcę, żeby było trochę lepiej, chcę, żeby było dużo lepiej. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Nie no, widzę, że wchodzę tutaj na raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Wskaźniki podpowiadają mi, że powinno mnie być słychać teraz odpowiednio głośno. Skończyliśmy na przyjeździe do Irlandii.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
I'm George Stobart, and I'm with the good guys.
You're a head case, mister. A few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do
Nie wiem, czy
something
to
bad?
dziecko, czy bardzo
I ain't
niski
done
mężczyzna.
nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I. See what your darling son has earned with his own
Jeszcze
sweat
powinien
and
zacząć
blood.
śpiewać.
When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot.
Przez chwilę myślałem, że Hasselhoff streamuje. Nie, to nie Hasselhoff. Gdyby to był Hasselhoff, to streamowałby z podłogi, jedząc cheeseburgera.
Told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year. What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No,
Coś się
What
tu
is
nie
it you're
zgadzało
covering
z
up?
dialogami przez
Is it
moment.
something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what
Cześć,
if
Misza.
I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Loch Man.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall.
Tak, Solfi, wiem,
and
że
I
dzisiaj
hears
derby, o
this
której grają.
awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting. Like O'Brien's pig, only worse.
O 17, no to nie zdążymy do 17.
Inside
Nawet do
the castle.
17:30.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty.
Właśnie, Jimothy, mi też się wydaje, że on z twarzy wygląda przynajmniej na 30 lat. A George skarży, a George mu grozi, że go do szkoły zaprowadzi.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse.
Nie wiem, czy są derby pizzy Gdynianka, ale po meczu wszyscy mogą pójść do Gdynianki.
Out it comes from the shadows.
Nawet nie wiem,
all
gdzie grają, w
grey
Gdyni czy w
and
Gdańsku.
tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared.
W Gdańsku, aha, no to
to
nawet lepiej. Nie zniszczą Gdyni.
There's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown, see? And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub, the clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for
Cześć,
a kid like
Korbotron.
you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
No właśnie,
Yeah, right.
wyjaśniło
You're not a
się.
day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't because he's not here now, but if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure?
Zapomniałem, kim był ten Pigram. Czy Pigram to nie był ten koleś, do którego wysłała nas Niko w Paryżu?
Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
Dobra, starczy tych rozmów z nim.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Idziemy do pubu.
My name's George.
Pleased to meet you, mister. My name's Fitzgerald.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right.
A, musi być ten Pigram, to musi być ten archeolog.
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no, thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Did you work at Professor Pegram's dig?
What gave you that idea?
Memory, dziękuję
Can
za
you tell me
oddany
about the
głos.
castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
Obawiam się, że
I
Dagger of
really
Amon-Ra nie
couldn't
wygra tego wyścigu, ale
Have you ever
kto wie.
explored the castle yourself?
Głosowanie będzie trwało przez ten stream i jeszcze następny, więc jest szansa.
Then one of the little ones fell off the wall, broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Shake my hand.
It's a trick, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right. I can't seem to fool anyone. See you later. Hi, my name's Stobart, George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Kajkę już nie ma szans, bo nie był w zestawieniu jeszcze,
No,
więc...
I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them history fellas yourself?
That's right, Professor Stobart, Miskatonic University.
You're an archaeologist, and you're asking us about the castle.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien. The gentleman was talking to me. How come you didn't leave with the others?
I didn't know they'd gone.
Oh, yes. Packed their spades and shovels and away they went.
Seems I missed all the excitement.
What excitement.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
It's the science of archaeology, Pat. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers.
Trufla
Ah,
chyba się
food
zlicza
made
głos.
with condoms, more likely.
Did anyone from the village work at Pegram's dig?
I tried it myself. but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of
Albo
them
już
put
głosowałaś,
together?
może nie pamiętasz.
Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald at the dig?
Let me see now. I think me brain box needs a spot of lubrication.
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here. Who? Doyle?
Nie powinno być bunkier opóźnienia, to powinno od razu liczyć.
Shame on you, Patrick. Same again.
Just a point this time, Michael.
1 point of brown coming up.
A jak to robisz quest, że kopiesz
Do you
ogród
remember
i
Sean
oglądasz?
Fitzgerald now?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last week. Come to think of it, it was only last week. Fitzgerald was there all right. Him and a bunch of students. He was speaking with the boss man.
May I shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill
Cześć,
your
Hagan.
beer if you do.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
It's a handsome mug on that fella, to be sure. Is he a film star?
Czy od dawna
What is
stream?
this false nose?
Od 13 minut i 16 sekund.
No, you're a clown.
Bye for now.
Który z nich to
Hello there.
ojciec tego
My name's
25-latka?
George
Chyba ten.
Stowart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm Sean. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
Yes, I do. What do you want with him?
I want to talk to him about working at the dig.
I can't imagine anyone employing Sean Fitzgerald on a dig. He wouldn't know a post hole from his elbow.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful
Gdzie
spectacle.
ma ty licznik
So
czego?
it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh no, I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Że się faktycznie nie zlicza.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian
Teraz
Sea.
proszę
With
spróbujcie
bases in
zagłosować.
so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar...
Tak, wydało mi się, że aktywowałem i kliknąłem, ale chyba nie załapał.
Invented bank charges?
Spróbujcie
In a
zagłosować
manner
jeszcze
of
raz.
speaking, I suppose they did.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh yes, they were arrested and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the
Musi
10th
działać.
century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
How can I get into the castle?
But those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found at the castle?
Now there's a bone of contention and
Nie
controversy.
wiem czemu
It
nie
was dug
działa.
up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion,
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram. The same man who
Zlicza,
dug up
zlicza,
the
bo
gem.
mam tutaj włączony na drugim ekranie podgląd i widzę, że ile zostało oddanych głosów i widzę, że głosowanie trwało 5,5 godziny, czyli dłużej niż
But he's
stream.
gone from the village.
Ale nie uaktualniają się te nowe, faktycznie. Moment, wyłączę i włączę jeszcze raz. A gdzie tutaj są Polscy? Dobra, niech on
Do you know where
odczytuje.
Pegram has gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Czy ramię od mikrofonu mi
Guilty
zasłania?
conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmar. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down. We can get back to normal.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a...
Yes, that's right.
Another bloody news hound. Well, you're wasting your time here, boy. You'll find the people of Lochmarn are a tight-lipped and cautious lot.
Why? Have you got something to hide?
It's just that we don't like to wash our dirty laundry in public.
dziwne, bo zwykle ten bot się anonsował na
Why
czacie,
don't you ask him yourself, Mr.
że,
Ace Remarker?
że startuje.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no you don't.
Goodbye for now.
Good riddance to you.
Dobra, jeszcze jedną rzecz spróbujemy zrobić. No faktycznie, nie ten. Może ja coś zepsułem. Sekunda. Działa. Właśnie zagłosowałem i się przesunęło. Także proszę mi tu... Zagłosowałem i się zmieniło, więc proszę nie siać. Zakodował, tak. To byłem ja. Jeżeli głosujecie i się nie zmienia, to może głosowaliście po prostu wcześniej, już wasze głosy zostały zliczone.
Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which
No,
is
działa
nasty?
trufla.
I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born
No.
to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said,
Naprawiłem.
"It's my reward for being out all night like a sinner, pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Nie no, nie jesteśmy policjantami, może
I buy
ci
you a
postawimy
beer?
piwko.
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochmarn Castle is haunted.
That's what the kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right. Nothing human, anyhow.
Okej, dobra, on
see
on
you
tylko
later.
bajki opowiada. No to dowiedzieliśmy się czegoś nowego o Fitzgeraldzie. Może teraz się przyzna, że pracował na wykopaliskach.
Mr. Fitzgerald? Doyle told me you definitely worked at the dig. He's seen you there. You might as well admit it.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean?
Czemu
Is he in danger?
miałby nie żyć?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
Nie da się 2 razy głosować, ale da się zmienić swój
That's
głos.
between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gems.
Nie wiem, czy to zmywarka, czy lodówka jest, ale zaraz chyba ją wysadzi.
So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
Nie wiem, o czym
You
mówisz,
didn't have any
Hagel.
qualms about your
O
benefits,
starszych i
Sam.
młodszych osobach.
So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been
Cześć,
patient,
Rorschach.
but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
Man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear more
racja.
about it. But if
No,
I
sami
double-crossed Marquet,
nie było żadnych dzieci. No ale ten Fitzgerald nie jest stary. Ten dzieciak przed pubem twierdzi, że ma
Give
20
the
kilka
package
lat,
to me.
ale nie jestem przekonany.
no. Why should I trust
No ale
you?
to jest
I don't know
Irlandia.
who to
Może
trust anymore.
w Irlandii są
I wish I'd
młodsi
never
ludzie.
even heard of the Lochmarn gem.
Potrącił go samochód?
Hey, I just seen a big red.
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out!
Fatalny dźwięk.
Noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes? And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Medical brandy. Trzeba mu podesłać.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill.
Cześć, Mateori.
Would you look at that, says I. And I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass. But the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy. And hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out. And I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Hey, Maguire,
What?
did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Maska?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on, I just
Nikt
want to
nie
show
chce.
you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do tricks. Father Mahoney told me I'd burn in hell if I did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's all.
No way.
Okej,
See
nic
you
z
later,
tego.
kid.
Dobra, ale
mister.
ten kamień, o którym była mowa w barze, ewidentnie wpadł tutaj. Do piwnicy.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside. I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Okej, coś ewidentnie zepsuliśmy. Co mamy w plecaku? Okej. Nie da się na Sekiro z Questem? Nie no, Sekiro z Questem jest jakby poza wszelkim głosowaniem. Wiemy, żebyśmy chcieli Rorschach, a nie ma jak.
It was a beer-stained piece of
Ale tak, jeżeli coś ma pomóc, to suwak. Ewentualnie suwak może pomóc w tym.
Top of the morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
That's not a bad idea. Do you have a vacancy?
I could, if you don't mind waiting until the last guest checks out.
No problem. When will that be?
When the Undertaker comes to collect him.
Ała.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional methods. It shouldn't be kept under pressure or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and worn with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
I'm
Ciepłe
sorry,
piwo.
but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
My nie mamy właśnie,
It just
legitymację
so happens
elektryka.
I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, now, isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Okej.
And when you've finished that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Ten gość tu się bawi jakimś drutem. On zdaje się jest potrzebny do tego, żeby naprawić ten sprzęt. A nie wiem, czy to też, czy to, co zepsułem na zewnątrz.
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
No dobra, ale kiedy on upuszcza
Hello
ten
again.
drut?
What?
What?
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, sure. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Bardzo romantyczny. Z kawałka druta. Okej.
Take a look at this ID card.
I don't know anything about it.
I'll see you later.
No dobra. O, kicha.
As soon as the old guy looked away, I
Okay.
grabbed this piece of wire. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug.
Wyciągnął, włożył jeszcze raz wtyczkę. Użyłem wszelkiej mojej wiedzy elektryka.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Tędy? Okej.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Okej. Ja ledwo widzę, czy wy też nie... Czy to kwestia tego, że mi świeci w twarz? Musimy zapolować na piksele chyba. Chyba nic tu więcej nie ma. A ta sama... O, może to samo wejście tutaj jest do piwnicy.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone tiled
Hagal
floor.
wpłacił 3 dychy ku przygodzie. Dzięki, Hagal.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light.
Ten się skąd wziął?
It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed
wow.
McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
To jest ten gość, który był przebrany za klauna i on nie poznaje George'a? Nie chce mu krzywdy zrobić? Dobra, ale czy to w takim razie, czy będzie teraz jaśniej tam, jak wejdziemy do środka?
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Okej, to jeszcze raz.
Now I could see.
No,
I spotted
zdecydowanie
Mr.
lepiej.
Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
Okej, ta wajcha otwierała po prostu wejście, tą klapę
It was
przy
Pilgrim's
ulicy.
Gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Okej. Jeszcze te pompy mieliśmy mu naprawić.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Okej, ale ja tu nie widzę żadnych pomp.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Dobra, jak tu się wychodzi?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I found your flashlight.
So I see it. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Hey, bartender.
Landlord, if you don't mind.
Sorry. Shake my hand, why don't you?
Now, why should I do that? What have you got up your sleeve?
Nothing. Come on, just shake my hand.
Not
Tak
just
na teorii
now,
kan.
mister. I have to be careful on account of the health restrictions.
Oh, jeez. Look, I gotta be...
Dobra. Spadamy stąd. Idziemy do tego zamku, no, w którym straszy ponoć. Może potem się uda te pompy naprawić.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, now, what if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
Tak, ale trochę tak.
fast, he
Nie
ran
wiem
right
czemu.
under the car?
I mean, the car
Nie wiem
was traveling.
skąd to pytanie, ale to może dlatego, że George to Amerykanin, czyli
Maybe you know the guy who was
ignorant.
hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
Fajnie jest ta gra
I think you
napisana.
want to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, There's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
Może być tak, trufla, ale no chyba
You don't have to
Chyba
demolish the
rozumieją
haystack to
język,
go look for Sean.
angielski.
I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous. I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
Okej, miałeś pomóc Fitzgeraldowi, ale ucieknie do baru. No dobra, przynajmniej możemy się wspiąć na tą stertę siana.
Contemplate the stack of hay. The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Gdzieś tu się można było wspiąć. Nie? Tutaj nie.
I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock.
Na przykład ten pręt można by tu wsadzić. To był ten sam do otwierania studzieny, który zabrał ze sobą z Paryża.
Jutting out to form a step.
Okej, dobra, to jest jeden z tych zręcznościowych elementów. W dwójce też jest taki moment w dżungli, że się ucieka przed jakimś zwierzęciem, a tutaj z tym kozłem są jakieś cyrki. Okej. Okej. O, okej, dobra. Zaczepił się. No, to było łatwiejsze niż myślałem. Myślałem, że to będzie jeden z tych elementów, gdzie trzeba w odpowiednim oknie czasowym coś zrobić.
I tried in vain to move the panel. I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened. The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand. As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly.
Okej, czyli statuetka na plecach miała klucz, bo ona powinna stać tutaj, tak jak ta z prawej, wtedy drzwi by się otworzyły. Trzeba pewno odlew zrobić.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Które to gips?
It was a handful of plaster.
Tak, plaster. Okej, tylko potrzebujemy wody. Obawiam się, że woda albo przy
I
tym
sprinkled
koźle.
the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Dobra, tylko potrzeba. Bez wody sobie nie
I
poradzimy.
smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
Okej, ale tutaj wody nigdzie nie ma. Woda była, tutaj nie ma, jest koryto rozwalone, no to w pubie jest woda. Szkoda, że nie ma mapy, że można by na mapie wskazać od razu, gdzie chcemy się udać.
The faucet creaked,
Okej.
coughed, and spewed out a stream of
Jest
rusty
woda,
colored
tylko nie ma
water.
pojemnika na wodę.
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with
Dobra, smoczymy ręcznik. Bingo.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Teraz zobaczymy, czy to jest tak jak z
I shut off
Monkey
the faucet
Island,
as tight as I could.
jak z noszeniem grogu w tych w metalowych kubkach. Jak nie będziemy odpowiednio szybcy, to czy wyschnie i woda wycieknie. Na szczęście jest to taki mechanizm w większości przypadków, że jak się wybiera przejście na konkretną planszę, od razu to nie trzeba oglądać całości tej drogi. Dobra, szybko.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
No, żaden gips nie tak szybko, ale okej.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
No dobra, zobaczmy co tam jest. Przyda się latarka z pubu. Okej, no ewidentnie jakaś krypta templariuszy. Aha, w tym czasie w Paryżu. No dobra. Aha, czyli tylko tak usiadła dla przyjemności, ok. Nie wiem, czy to nie jest... Sekcje z Nico są chyba elementem właśnie Director's Cut. No fajnie, że dzieli historię między Nico a George'a, ale nagle gramy historię George'a i jest fajny element, interesujący element scenariusza i nagle przerywa na historię Nico. Ok, to jest typowy zabieg serialowy, filmowy, bo tam jestem zainteresowany, co się stało, ciach bajera i odwlekamy ten moment, kiedy się dowiem, co się stało. Natomiast fajnie, żeby to wprowadzenie teraz z sekcją Nico miało jakiś cel, bo ja wracam do Nico po 2 tygodniach przerwy graniem i teraz nie wiem, co ma Nico robić. Nico miała chyba tego swojego profesora znaleźć, ale ponoć on był w Irlandii.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy,
Ewidentnie
so
nowo
what's
nagrane
new? If you're
dialogi.
interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slonsha. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carshon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
Okej.
I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
Wracamy ostrzec żonę tego gościa, który był zastrzelony w pierwszej scenie.
Locked? No way was I going to break through a door like that. The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
No i chyba po tej rzeźbie damy radę wejść. Coś czuję.
I unhooked the first wire. I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright. If
No
I
i
could
bum.
deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
Piękne schody.
That broken window looked like the best way in.
To jest to okno, przez które strzelano chyba.
Thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Myślałem, że będzie wycinać w szybie. To ten plastik był taki gruby, że nie mogła normalnie paluchami zerwać. O, bez przesady. Gdzie ta wdowa? Cześć, Heszelele.
My God, I'm too late. Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be all right.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. Absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl.
Mam nadzieję, że widzicie odrobinę więcej niż ja, bo dla mnie to strasznie ciemna scena jest.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why?
But
Even
why?
in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
Co masz w
I
tym
opened
medalionie?
it. Inside was a tiny gold key. I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Misza, ty już nie głosowałeś czasem? Nie ma podwójnych głosów.
In the dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
upewniam się, rozumiem. No, Dagger of Amon-Ra trochę poszedł do przodu, ale wciąż za mało, sorry.
You don't scare me. Especially
Mówisz o nowej części. Beneath the Steel Sky. Widziałem tylko tyle, co na screenach. Tak jak pytałem 2 albo 3 tygodnie temu, jak szukałem artów do tego głosowania, ale byłem zaskoczony, że ktoś pracuje nad nową częścią.
It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's.
Który to był ten kluczyk z medalionu, to?
I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
Może ona jest jej matką.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box.
No dobra, to zdjęcie już widzieliśmy. To są...
While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father.
Bom, bom.
There was a letter. I feared there was even worse.
Dzięki, Machiavelli. No dobra, to już widziałem. Nie będę kłamał, trochę mam ochotę, że Beneath the Steel Sky wygra, bo to jest krótka gra na jeden stream, a Dagger of Amon-Ra nigdy nie grałem. I nie wiem, jaka to jest długa gra. Ale nie będę kłamał, jestem zaintrygowany. Ja ją skończyłem kiedyś, Misza, ale nie zapadła mi w pamięć, prawdę powiedziawszy. Nie pamiętam, o czym jest.
They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a funny job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all.
Ciekawie byłoby dla scenariusza, gdyby się okazało, że był zły. Jej ojciec, nie wiem, zbijał piątki z papieżem, miał strzelające jabłko Edenu. Się okazuje, że był dobry.
Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
No, krótka ta sekcja z nią. A nie, jeszcze trwa, sorry.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out. Or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George.
Hello, Josh.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
No to ten już chyba mamy.
There's a guy working on a loom. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a
W
mirror,
sensie
but the
ten
reflection
kamień.
has 3 hideous faces.
Ten stojak też już gdzieś widziałem.
The night scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
No. Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
Patrz, Niko, gips.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy. That is not.
To już jej
Do you want
pokazywałem.
to look after the gem?
No, Josh. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Fair enough.
Maybe not.
No dobra, chyba z nią już nie ma nic do pogadania.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Spadamy.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinor at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Jeżeli dobrze rozumiem, to oni po drodze jeszcze gdzieś muszą się w sobie zakochać, a póki co tej chemii nie
I
czuć.
so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Cauchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
O, tego
It was
gościa
just some
znam.
police
Był w
paperwork,
kawiarni
search warrant.
po wybuchu.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you,
Ale tak,
monsieur.
kubek
Go
widmo,
home
bo
and
koloru
try to
zielonego.
forget.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Okej, no to już wiemy, że
Which
jest w
hospital was
szpitalu.
Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Avenue de
Why was
Hérisson.
Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Wątpię, pewno raczej podkopy robił przy włamach,
See you
ale
later,
okej.
Sergeant.
Jedziemy do tego szpitala, gdzie on leży.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Szoker. Znowu sami starzy ludzie. No tak, do Paryża wróciliśmy.
Excuse me,
Okej, ona nie jest stara.
is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
No, I'm conducting a private investigation.
Then I can't help you.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see.
Nie wiem, nagle zrobiło się dwie kwestie były strasznie głośno i teraz wróciły do normalnego poziomu.
Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh dear. He's on ward J2.
I znowu głośno.
Nurse Grendel's ward.
Kim jest
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Śmieszne.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow. The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
Oui, monsieur.
Is this ward J2?
It is, but you're not supposed to be here. We have strict rules about visiting hours.
Can't you make an exception? I've come all the way from California.
You must speak to the doctor.
I can't wait that long. What if he snuffs it?
You can't talk like that here. This is a hospital. You will have to leave.
No ej. Kiedy ja muszę z nim porozmawiać?
I told you to leave. You may come back at visiting time, monsieur.
Thanks. When is that?
The second Tuesday of each month.
Okay, ma'am. I know when I'm not wanted.
Prawda? To trochę jak muzeum wygląda.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
Nie ma tu więcej drzwi.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
No, to zobaczymy, jak sobie poradzisz, jak ci maszynę wyłączę.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Mr. Shiny. Czy teraz możemy? No, cyk, cyk. O, może się, o tak, pięknie, za lekarza się przebierzemy.
Good afternoon, Doctor. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
Nie poznała, że 3 minuty temu był tutaj
She gave
bez
me a long,
fartucha.
narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well...
No, it's okay. Forget it.
Ej, a co to jest?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
It was a device used for measuring people's blood.
Okej, dobra. Może wyślemy ich na operację
Hello?
gdzieś.
Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. What can you tell me about Marquet?
Coś tu z tym łóżkiem nie gra, nie wiem czy widzicie, jest taka linia tutaj.
That
Dziwne.
room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Zajebiście długie łóżko.
They won't even say what's wrong with me.
Im się nogi kończą w połowie długości łóżek. Są najdłuższe łóżka na świecie.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
Maybe not. The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Okej.
I'll come back later.
Dobra, idziemy szukać tego gościa w izolatce.
Doctor!
No co?
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
No to jest akurat nieprawda, właśnie to zrobiłem.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Oh, Doctor.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Odpierdol się, dziadu.
Okay, let's try again.
Dobra, chyba nie przejdziemy dalej, jak go nie załatwimy. Co roszczeniowa postawa.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
Dobra, idźmy dalej czegoś. Potrzebujemy pomocy. Nie to chciałem kliknąć.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy.
Bunny.
This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical
Viagra?
wall of
Okay.
fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see
Dziwnie stoją.
a real doctor.
Bunny stoi normalnie, on stoi normalnie, a ten ma pozę jak super bohater z okładki komiksu. Dobra, młody, będziesz mierzył ciśnienie. No ej. I teraz gdzie on zniknął? Mam nadzieję, że tam na salę już poszedł. O, jest. Pojawił się cudownie. Zmaterializował.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir?
So what's your name, kid?
Benoit. They call me Bunny.
Bunny? Jeez, and you don't mind?
Oh, I've gotten used to it.
Okay, Benoit, you're gonna help me.
Anything you say, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
Dobra, spróbujemy teraz przejść. Może Beniego.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
Of course it's because he got money. Dobra, Benny.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Tu jakiś błąd jest ewidentnie z tym łóżkiem. To się nie spina tutaj. Perspektywa, coś jest nie tak. To jest pewno część stała, a to jest część animowana i nie zgrało. No i co? Zmierzone czy usnęliście? Aha, w sumie nie muszę czekać na wynik. Okej.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc. Right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Would you like to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
O, nie wygląda dobrze.
Marquet?
Yes. I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lachmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Kurde, wszystko się zgadza. Templariusze, asasyni.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to
Tak,
Ireland in your
portret jest okej, ale w łóżku wygląda co najmniej, jakby go 2 ciężarówki przejechały.
Quickly tell him that I found the tripod right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
Słaby żart.
Theory about the location of the
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
There you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's
To
locked.
Bunny wie, że nie ma tego doktora Brilla, a nie wie, że nie ma doktora George'a. Paf, paf, no.
Hello, Georges.
Hello.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Van Osdel, hey, can you play original Broken Sword after you beat the director's cut?
Despicable. What kind of
Well,
guy
there's
would
not
cut
much of a
himself up with
difference
a
between the
doctor and take
original
advantage of a
and
dying
director's
man?
cut.
Was it
Just a
Khan?
few additional
No,
scenes,
I don't
so
know who
there's
he
really
was,
no
but
point.
It certainly wasn't Khan. He got away out the window. Have you ever heard of
To
the
była za
Hashi
ikona.
Ashin?
No.
Marquet
to byli
said that they were
asasyni.
his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. That is not a good idea. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Nie wiem, czy kolejne oglądanie tego pergaminu sprawia, że oni się czegoś nowego dowiadują, czy to trzeba odklikać po każdej scence, ale na wszelki wypadek.
You will be enlightened. I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mu? Oh, but you're referring to André.
I'll let you work it out.
Powiedziałbym udanego oglądania Bunkier, ale wątpię, żeby z tego było wyjątkowo udane widowisko. Dobra, do muzeum. Które to jest muzeum? Muzyku. To chyba tu.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Oui, monsieur?
Do you know anything about the Knights of the
O,
Temple?
tu jest ten
No, sir.
stojak.
Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Nauczył mnie alfabetu, ale tylko pierwszych 19 liter, bo drugi rząd był wpisany za małą czcionką. Okej.
If I studied art,
Niezły
in
żart.
all my homework, I could be a professor of history.
At your age? Dream on.
Nie wiem,
Would
czy
you
już go
like to shake
pytałem.
my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein
To mi już chyba
tripod
tłumaczył
is situated.
przy
It
ostatniej
strikes me
wizycie.
that to call your alarm system sophisticated.
It has
Okej, dobra.
Thanks for your help.
Trzeba to jakoś ukraść.
I
ten
beg your pardon.
tripod.
Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right.
Dokładnie.
He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down
Ale tu
during the
wszyscy Misza
Revolution.
wyglądają jak posterunkowi z Alo Alo.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. there was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then the grand
Tego elementu nie było w Assassin's Creed. O okuszeniu orgiami, żarciem i haszyszem.
They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Kazumon, on chodzi między nimi? Nie zauważyłem nawet.
July, I think.
Skupiam się na tych tekstach u góry.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
No ale to byłoby nieeleganckie, gdy przychodził między
No,
nimi.
it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Ty, faktycznie.
Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of
trochę nieeleganckie.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
Okay.
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I
Ciekawe, czy mogłem, jak mu nie podał adresu, to
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
inny byłby efekt.
Georgie.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Wciąż zamyka to okno? Aha, okej. To jeszcze raz. To można było się do tej mumii schować, nie? Do sarkofagu. Najpierw musi chyba zauważyć, że jest otwarte okno. Okay.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobino.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
Good night, monsieur.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight!
Paparapupi. Okropny akcent. Macie, totem na was zrzucę.
What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Nie ma takiego uciekania. A, okej. Co się stało?
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily,
Kto
I
to był?
managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it
czyli
was
to była
you
ona.
who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod. Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobino.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. I'd
No
better get
dobra.
back to the quest.
Na miasto. Z powrotem. Nie. Kafe, nie. Gdzie jeszcze możemy? No nie, chyba jeszcze we Francji zostajemy, zwłaszcza, że tutaj nie można. Policja. Tutaj chyba nie byłem, co to jest.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
No ale tu my się znamy. W sensie mamy odpowiednie narzędzie do otwierania studzienek.
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that comer alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
Excuse me, officer. What
To
do you
jest
know about the Knights
oficer?
Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Clown ma dziwne proporcje ciała.
You with the balls.
Oui?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No! I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballatic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crownheads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders. Plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a
Oczywiście.
try.
Be my guest.
No, George.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult.
No dobra, George nie jest żonglerem.
Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not. Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing, and not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you have it.
No dobra,
I'll see you around.
spróbujemy jeszcze raz w takim razie.
I'll be there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist
The balls,
on
please.
completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
Ah.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury.
No właśnie, się bałem, że George zapomni o swoim nosie. A nie, to jednak z kulek.
But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change. I had no desire to talk to the crowd. In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Okej, czy ci ludzie nie będą mieli nic naprzeciwko, jak zacznę tu grzebać? Widać nie. Co to jest? Okej, napsułem trochę.
My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe.
Okej, czyli tutaj wieszali ich. Okej.
The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked.
Czyli do rozwalenia.
It was falling away. I wondered why.
Cześć, asasyn.
It was time for some brutal destruction. Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Okej. Chociaż nie wiem, co to jest za maszyna tutaj, ale okej. Klasycznie zepsuliśmy.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction
Strasznie głośno i paskudne te akcenty.
The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their
Zimna
own
wojna się
executives to control them.
skończyła jakieś 15 lat temu względem czasów w tej grze.
This trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Okay.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our
Incompetence.
Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time with the
To nie jest ten socjalista, którego w hotelu spotkaliśmy?
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors, hold on, these are the Templars? Must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lockmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies.
Yes, of course.
We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present. Ha! But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition the next time that we meet. It will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow!
Płynęli sobie łódką. Solidnie popierdoleni. Okay.
The water seemed to belong to an underground river or something. It was way too deep to belong to the catacombs. In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it.
Okay, gdzie jest mój tripod?
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
I kamień.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter, starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant. Nico, I've seen them.
Przeczytaliśmy, że do Syrii
The Templars.
trzeba
I
lecieć.
spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
No. Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
No dobra, czyli Syria. Few hours later. Okej, dobra. To jest dobre miejsce, żeby zrobić przerwę. 2 godziny w sam raz. Myślałem, że to się zmieści w 3 częściach. Jeżeli dobrze pamiętam, to jak się zepniemy na 3, ona może trwać między 2 a 3 godzinami, to faktycznie zmieściłoby się w 3 częściach. Bo nie chcę z tego robić 4, bo wydaje mi się, że zostało do końca za mało, żeby zrobić 2 części. Chyba że krótkie. Zobaczymy, jak pójdzie. Ale tak czy inaczej myślę, że to jest dobry moment, żeby zrobić przerwę tutaj. Lululu, ba. Postęp pokazuje 60%. No właśnie. Zobaczymy. Jestem dobrej myśli. Dziękuję wszystkim za obecność. Myślę, że będziemy kontynuować w przyszłym tygodniu w niedzielę. Mniej więcej o tej samej porze. Także zapraszam za tydzień na kolejną część. Na razie.